Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss, and here is a look at the daily time frame of the ES. The last trading session was a very small range day, inside day. Today, so far, pre-market is shaping up to be even smaller already. Just 7.5 points of overnight range so far heading into RTH. That's just 31% of average. It's been averaging 24.5 points on a 10-day basis. So very, very quiet price action right here. And overall, just a very quiet market so far to start March. Real sideways. It's mostly hugging this blue dotted line, which is the previous month's close price. And it continues to hold within the uptrending structure. So again, no real signs of rejection and selling pressure just yet, but you can certainly see that if price were to start to pull back below 2780s and perhaps break below the previous month's midpoint 2750, that would start to really heat things up to the downside. For right now though, the uptrending structure remains intact and the market remains rather quiet as we head into Beige Book later on, and also some pre-market reports including ADP non-farm employment change, trade balance, and other things. We have NFP report later this Friday, and so the market's looking forward to that as well. Overall, narrow range. At some point, I would think that a breakout would occur. Given the strength of the market, I would say watch for any breakdown to be a false breakdown, which could lead to more strength. That would be one way to go for bulls. That's always something to watch out for when you're in an uptrending environment. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. The NQ, very quiet, double inside day today, just 27.25 points of range. That's 34% of average. It's been averaging 81 points. You can see here Monday's range, Tuesday's range, and now Wednesday's range. Double inside day, very, very narrow. Still uptrending. Bulls continue to defend the pivot range and keep prices above the previous month's close. I would say again, if this were to drop heavily, watch for signs that this thing rejects, because that could be a very good entry point for a continuation. If price falls below 7K and cannot reestablish back above it, that will be a big indication of more weakness to come. Alright, let's take a look now at crude oil. Crude oil continues to be very bullish, but has been sideways here recently. It continues to hold above the 55 key level. We also have the 54.55 top of the key range as well. So you have the CLVN at 55 and 54.55 as the top of the key range. Any pushback into that zone would offer an opportunity for bulls to defend and perhaps squeeze not only back to the recent high of 58s, but perhaps through that high into 60. So again, this could be a big time buy opportunity down here. We may not get that opportunity here, as any failed new low that's developing below 56 here could lead to an outright rally here. But again, even as low as the 54.55s, we could see bulls look to defend. A failure to hold this zone would open up more weakness back toward 51.25. Alright, let's take a look now at gold futures. I've been mentioning before, gold is still hunting for a low, still continuing to push lower. All those things. In the trading room, we're watching 1275 here as the level to take out or at least test. And that means that prices below that level could offer an opportunity to buy and reject it back up toward the midpoint of whatever impulse move we see. Right now we've had a very sharp sell-off off the top, very clear rejection, sold off heavily, and at the moment we're seeing a failed new high develop, and so we're looking for another wave down. We're currently stuck at value 1287.60, but at some point here, if price were to pull back and form a lower high or form a failed high, that could lead to a continuation to take out these lows. Again, what we're looking for is the bookend to that day. We need a rejection day to come in from the lows. Whenever we find that significant rejection day that will bookend this upper rejection day up here, that will give us a very clear impulse sell-off and then that will give us a high probability bounce back toward the midpoint of that move. So again, being patient with this one. It continues to show weakness overall, failed new high developing, but it's also stuck right at value. That can last a little while before it moves. Alright, that is it for now. We will see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room.